Tonight, 3 police officers allegedly assaulted in Port Augusta and Whyalla in 2 separate incidents. And from making pouches for injured animals to Sea Scouts in South Korea, meet Broken Hill's Young Citizen of the Year, Molly Malloy.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. A Whyalla police officer has allegedly been assaulted following a break-in at a bottle shop. Just before 4 this morning, officers received reports that windows had been smashed and alcohol stolen from a liquor store on Nicholson Avenue in Whyalla Stewart. Once on scene, patrols successfully chased 2 suspects, one of which had fled to nearby bushes, while the other remained in the shop. A 17-year-old Whyalla Stewart boy and a 16-year-old Port Augusta boy were arrested and charged with alleged aggravated serious criminal trespass. The older boy was also charged with the alleged assault of a police officer and appeared in youth court today. Officers are still looking for a third person. Meantime, in a separate incident, a man remains in custody after allegedly assaulting 2 police officers in Port Augusta's CBD. SAPOL is calling for witnesses of the alleged assault, which took place on Tuesday night. Daniel Pizarro reports from the scene.
A routine patrol in Port Augusta's CBD has turned into a nightmare for 2 police officers and ended in a visit to the hospital. The male and female officer were walking down Mackay Street at 8 p.m. on patrol when they encountered a man who was allegedly breaching his bail conditions. The situation escalated after the man allegedly attacked the male and female officers, who both suffered facial and head injuries. The pair were taken to Port Augusta Hospital but have since been released. A 28-year-old man from the APY lands was arrested and charged with multiple alleged offences, including breaching bail, assaulting emergency workers and resisting police. The man appeared in Port Augusta Magistrate Court on Wednesday. Port Augusta has seen a rise in antisocial behaviour over the summer, causing major concern among locals and the City Council. Anyone who may have witnessed the assault is urged to come forward and contact Port Augusta Police or Crime Stoppers. Maddie, back to you.
Thank you, Daniel. Tenders have gone out for the construction of new public housing dwellings in South Australia, addressing a need for secure and affordable housing. Some of these new homes will be built in Whyalla and Port Augusta.
A promise to put roofs over heads. The state government has released tenders for the construction of 133 new homes. Set to be built on Housing SA land where old stock has been demolished, the new homes will look to address the growing need for housing in the state. The move, part of Labor's $177.5 million commitment to building an extra 400 homes while in government.
That's going to be used by people who are either in housing crisis, homeless, under rental stress, a whole range of people.
Construction of these 133 houses is expected to be completed by 2024, with many of the buildings to be located outside of the capital city.
It's going to be good for the Upper Spencer Gulf. We've made a commitment to engage in new build when it comes to public housing, and a significant number of those houses are going to happen in regional communities. So Port Augusta and Whyalla are going to benefit.
Pre-qualified builders can apply for the tenders up until the 21st of February this year.
A number of housing trust houses that have been empty for an extended period of time, and we intend to get some of those houses back online so they're going to be available for people. So that's important. And the other element is the refurbishment of some of the existing properties that are tenanted.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill City Council recognised 4 outstanding locals yesterday. One of them was Young Citizen of the Year, Molly Malloy. From Sea Scouts to personal projects, the award winner says she's honoured by the acknowledgement.
Supporting her community through tireless work ethic. The Broken Hill student surprised at being named as the city's Young Citizen of the Year.
It feels really amazing. I had no idea about it. I'm just so proud to be thought of for it.
Miss Malloy is a part of Broken Hill's Sea Scouts after learning about all the great things they get to learn and do from her brother.
Well, believe it or not, my younger brother started before me, and he would come home and tell me about all these exciting things he was doing. I was like, I think that's worth a try. So I joined and I've loved it ever since.
She will be heading to the World Scout Jamboree in South Korea later this year after pleading her case to officials as to why she should be picked.
Yeah, they just accepted me, so I'm really proud to be one of the first scouts of Broken Hill to go to a World Jamboree.
Besides the Scouts, Molly has put her time and effort into causes close to her heart, like hand-making 100 pouches for orphan joeys.
I was really upset by animals being dumped on the side of the road and baby animals being left to die. So I just thought it was really important for them to have a chance, and yeah, that's why I started doing it.
The next project for Molly will be one with her mum, as they will make fidget blankets for people with Alzheimer's. Joshua Mercer, 7, Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, how a new service is streamlining health access and information to the Flinders and far north, and improving the lives of people living with a disability. A Whyalla mum awarded the Still City's top prize. Welcome back. With regional health services in the Flinders Ranges and far north under pressure from cutbacks, a new service for smaller communities has been left to fill the gaps. Corn and Hawker are now receiving monthly visits from community health officers who can direct locals to the services they need.
Regional health services are under greater pressure than ever before due to cost cutting, GPs leaving, staff shortages and limited resources. Finding where to go and who to speak with about health services in regional South Australia has become increasingly difficult, especially for senior citizens in remote communities.
So we've got an ageing population at Hawker, and latter years, since it's sort of been run on a regional basis, we've found that there's not a lot of coordination and communication between the different branches of the health services.
Flinders and Upper North Local Health Network is now aiming to streamline health access and information with the launch of dedicated visits to Quorn and Hawker.
To be there for an all-day drop-in service. So myself as a manager of community engagement, along with community health staff, would go there once a month, be there in their local community so they can drop in and really chat about anything they want to know about accessing the health service.
The visits began late last year as a way to direct residents to the services they need, as well as avoiding travelling down to Port Augusta or even Adelaide for a consultation.
Certainly understand that they like to have our staff come to their communities, not only to provide health services, but also to inform them about what's available, how they can access it, and to help them through any challenges they might have.
The new service has been warmly received, especially those further out. The dates for the visits are listed in the local newspapers. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Whyalla Council has taken the time to recognise some outstanding community members who continue to go above and beyond. These overachieving volunteers encourage more locals to donate their time to worthy causes.
Going above and beyond for Whyalla. The City Council has presented its Citizen of the Year awards for 2023. With familiar face Rachel Barlow taking out the highest honour.
I think the journey started for me with Heart Kids, which aren't operating too much at the moment. But yeah, they started showing me, that you could do little things to make differences, to increase support for the community.
Rachel says she strives to provide adequate support for everyone, particularly those living with a disability, like her son, Jacob.
Working with the Whyalla Access Group to get beach access, to get our beach mats and our beach chairs and then our changing place.
Working on the Whyalla Disability Reference Group and the Inclusive Sporting Project, the council says Rachel has improved the lives of many locals. Also recognised for her service, Young Citizen of the Year, Emily Rawlings.
I call myself the unofficial Pied Piper for troubled youth.
Coordinating the Whyalla Youth Advisory Committee, Emily has also collected gifts for children as a part of the Steel City Toy Run and played a key role in the city's Christmas carols.
Every event we were trying to be there, we were COVID marshalling. We really tried to break that connection between the youth to the older age gap as well. We used to meet every Monday night. We used to do a lot of art throughout the community.
But Emily says helping to bring back the city's Christmas pageant last year was her biggest achievement.
I decided to go out on my own and I was like, I will enter one float. So I entered 3 floats and 2 utes and 35 costumes.
All award winners using their platform to encourage others to volunteer their time to community projects around Whyalla.
You see in so many groups the same volunteers over and over again. They do so much work. It's great to see new faces too.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. A jam-packed 4 weeks coming up for the Country University Centre in Broken Hill. And what's in a name? That's the question the Copper Coast Council is asking locals as it considers mixing up its branding. Welcome back. With February just around the corner, the Country University Centre in Broken Hill is getting ready for a big month. From graduation balls to open days, there's something for both graduates and prospective students alike.
Kicking off a massive month for CUC Far West is the graduation ball on February 4 at the Golf and Country Club for those who have finally finished their studies.
We're going to have a real night of celebration with some great food, dancing, a bit of a bar and a bit of a presentation acknowledging the momentous achievements of these wonderful graduates.
With so many students studying at different universities across the country, it's a great chance for them to come together, meet in person and celebrate the next chapter.
This provides an opportunity for students to graduate in their own community with their family, invite their own guests, and while some of them do both, which is great, some of them this is their opportunity to really celebrate their graduation.
For anyone looking at studying in Broken Hill, look no further than CUC Far West. The centre is for everyone from high school leavers to those after a career change. The Crystal Street Hub is holding an open day on Saturday, February 18.
Maybe it's been on your bucket list, maybe you're thinking it's a career change, you could be a high school leaver, wherever you are in your life's journey, you can come along, talk to us about prospective courses, what options there are for studying.
Existing students don't miss out on the fun either, with a murder mystery night getting underway after the open day is done and dusted. Past and future students are also invited to take part.
There's limited spaces available, so if you're a uni student in the Far West, you can register on Eventbrite by searching Country University Centre Far West and come along and have a fun-filled night with a bit of mystery.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Copper Coast Council is considering its second name change in 6 years. In 2017, the District Council of the Copper Coast became the Copper Coast Council, and now they're considering changing it to the City of Copper Coast. But what does it mean for locals? Mayor Talbot explains.
William Shakespeare had the same question.
I guess you can say what's in a name, and currently we're known as the Copper Coast Council, which gives you the impression that the council are what the Copper Coast is all about, and the Copper Coast is much more than that.
Council proposed the idea in the first meeting of 2023. One of the reasons being the expected population growth of the area, with the population of the Yorke Peninsula expected to reach over 30,000 by 2026. This is due to major developments in the area, such as the Teaport's grain export terminal and subdivisions in Port Hughes and Kadina.
I just think it unites us all as one and makes us look at the Copper Coast as one area and one city.
The Copper Coast has outgrown nearby cities Port Lincoln and Port Augusta, and Council believe a city title will act in their favour when it comes to state and government funding.
So we are now going to go out to public consultation and get the feel of the community and see what they think.
To find out more or to have your say, visit Council's website and fill out the survey. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
For almost 50 years, the Barunga West Community Library has existed as a school-based model and has been run by a committee for the past 2 decades, before becoming inactive due to COVID. Now a new advisory board will be established, bringing back essential services like internet access, education programs and support services for locals.
We're working with school employees and community members to make sure that we get the best out of our community library for Port Broughton.
The library's website is a good place to start to check out what they have on offer. Stay with us after the break why organisers have switched to the T20 format in Broken Hill this weekend. And more days above 40. We'll have the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. No A-grade cricket in Port Lincoln tomorrow after last weekend's T20 Grand Final at Centenary Oval, where Southern Air just edged out Tasman. There's also been a change of plans in Broken Hill as the Far West grapples with a heat wave. Here's this week's Cricket Tips.
40-over games scheduled in Broken Hill cricket this weekend have been reduced to T20 due to the extreme heat forecast. Souths take on West here at the Jubilee Oval on Saturday. They both met in a T20 last week, with West running out winners by 20 runs. Souths were quite competitive, and with West missing a few players this weekend due to work commitments, I expect this to be a reasonably close game and a good contest. I think West should start favourite still, but South are capable of pushing the West, as was shown last week, and it may end up a very close contest. In the other game, North take on Central. North building momentum towards the finals. I think they should be too strong for Central. I think the North batting looks fairly powerful, and they should record a comfortable win.
Hello and welcome to round 12 of Port Pirie Cricket. This week sees Props taking on Port Germain here at Memorial Oval from 10:30. Props are coming off a big win over Wandera last week, while Port Germain will be trying to bounce back after a bad loss to Southport. I'm going to tip Props. Over at Port Oval, we got Southport taking on Wandera. Wandera would have been disappointed with their poor effort last week against Props and be looking to bounce back against the strong Southport side. I'm going to tip Southport.
G'day and welcome to round 7 of the Port Augusta Cricket Tips. This week we see Centrals take on Corn at Etzer. Centrals at a loss last week. I'm expecting them to bounce back and beat Corn this week. The other match we see West Augusta take on South Augusta. West Augusta actually beat Central Stirling last week, so they'll be on a bit of eye, but I can't see them beating South Augusta. So there are my 2 winners, Centrals and South Augusta.
Well, only time will tell. Let's see if West Augusta can pull another one out of the hat. But it's time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, another day in the 40s.
And then some, Maddie. It was 44.5 degrees in Ceduna this afternoon, and it wasn't much better closer to us either. 43.6 in Woodner and almost 41 degrees at Cleve Airport. Port Augusta also exceeded the 40s today, recording 41.9 around 3 p.m. Sunny in Clare, 37. Cooper Pedy recorded 42.5 just before 3 o'clock. Looking more broadly at today's weather map now, just 29 in Port Lincoln, 38.5 in Whyalla, 36 in Adelaide and Broken Hill. Taking a look at the satellite image now, a trough and cold front will move across from the far west this evening, followed by another high moving south of the Bight during Sunday. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. North to northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing up to 20 knots. Seas will be 1 to 1.5 metres and as high as 2 metres along the Eyre Peninsula coastline, and south to southwesterly swell around a metre. A shower or 2 and 23 in Port Lincoln tomorrow. Rainy conditions in Cleve between 21 degrees and 25. Same goes for Woodner, a rainy top of 25. A shower or 2 developing in Whyalla, set to reach a high of 29 degrees there after the overnight low of 23. Late showers for Port Augusta, 35 34 on Sunday, significantly better than today's sweltering conditions. Between 20 and 30 in Kadina, showers also developing there. 33 in Port Pirie, possible showers developing there as well. Clare in for a possible late shower, a top of 29 degrees, winds up to 30 knots in the Silver City with an expected top of 41 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, a cool change will be felt in Broken Hill on Sunday. Temperatures dropping back down to in the high 20s, and there will be some rain up to 8 millimetres. Rain everywhere else as well, except in Woodna, Port Lincoln and Kadina. Temperatures between 22 and 31. Moving on to Monday's outlook now. Windy conditions in Whyalla, 26 degrees, 29 in Woodna, Port Augusta and Port Pirie, 23 in Port Lincoln, 31 in Broken Hill. And the wind is set to carry on into Tuesday around Whyalla and Port Augusta. Sunny in Broken Hill, Port Pirie and Kadina. Temperatures ranging between 23 in Port Lincoln to 35 in Cooper Pedy. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. I'll see you soon with an update. I hope you have a great weekend, Maddie. It's back to you.
You too, Alex. Thank you. And that's the local news this Friday. I'm Madeline Kerr. From all of us here, thanks for joining us. I'll have updates a little later, but until then, enjoy your evening. I'll see you Monday. Good night.